great tips, Freddie. Welcome back.
Thank you. Oh, it's great to be back. Thank you.
It's good to have you. I know a couple of months ago when you were on, you made a green Posole.
Yes.
And now we're going red for kind of like the holidays, getting into the fall,
It's
Halloween, everything like that, kind of warm you up a little bit. Yeah, good
Yeah,
stuff.
the nights are cooler and it's great. It's heavier, so it's better to have in the fall.
Yes. Okay, well, folks, if you would like to check out today's recipe or recipes from all of our previous shows, all you have to do is go to our website, valleydish.azcentral.com. Now let's check out what ingredients you're going to need for today's first dish, the seared chicken breast stuffed with mushrooms. Actually, you know what? I take that back. We are going to do the Posole, the red Posole. I apologize. All right, here we go. 1 pound of pork butt, 2 tablespoons of paprika, 2 tablespoons of cumin, 1 to 2 cups of pureed red chili, 1 onion, 2 garlic cloves, 1 cup of tomato sauce, 2 cups of cooked hominy, 3.5 cups of chicken stock, 1 bay leaf, 1 sprig of fresh thyme, 1 lime, 3 tablespoons of canola oil, a little salt, a little pepper, and some cilantro for garnish. And we are ready to rock and roll with this red Posole.
Red.
Okay.
I always seem to have a lot of ingredients on there.
I know you do. It is a little bit of a laundry list,
Yeah,
but
so
you know what though? The flavors really come together well.
It really does. We're going to sear the pork first.
Ooh. Snap. Snap, crackle, pop.
No. A very good sear though. You want it like that. I mean, don't be afraid. You know, just remove it off the heat if it does do that.
Right.
But just season it a little. And all we're going to do here is we're just going to sear the outside of this. That's all we want to do. Your basic soup preparation, you just want to sear the pork, let it get that nice skin so the inside can stay nice and tender.
Right.
Now this is pork butt or pork shoulder. You can use either or for this particular dish.
Now, it's interesting because, like I said, when you were here making the green Posole, you had the green Posole sauce.
The green chili, yes.
Yeah, the green chili. And now you've got the red chili, which is, again, one of your favorite brands that you like to go with.
It's Bueno brand. Only because, again, if you look at the ingredients, it only says chili pods and water, which means they just reconstituted dried chilies and then pureed it and froze it.
Right.
And it's actually a really good little argument in New Mexico is this is just chili. It's not chili sauce, it's just chili.
Okay.
So that's something really good to know about.
And what's really interesting too is that when you buy it, it is frozen.
Yes.
And you want to keep it in the freezer.
You just want to keep it, always keep it frozen until you use it. Sometimes it's good to let it thaw a little.
Right.
And then go ahead and use half of it and then freeze it.
Right. So I noticed that you kind of, you know, you didn't cook the pork all the way through.
No.
And now you still want to use, though, the juices from the pork and everything to saute it into the onion.
Saute it right into the onion.
Yes.
And we're just going to go ahead and let this sweat here. And from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my spices now at this moment. Just to, we have the paprika.
Is it smoked or is it regular paprika?
It's regular paprika.
Okay.
And then we're just going to put about a teaspoon in here. I believe the recipe says for 2, but we're not making as much as the recipe says on here, so we're just cutting it down just a little.
I always love your measuring cup.
Yeah, the natural.
The natural palm of your hand.
Yes. Your body tells you what you want to eat.
Exactly.
And 1 bay leaf right in there. And then, oops.
That's okay, it didn't break. No breakage.
And here's the dark chili powder. This is New Mexican chili powder. If you want to get
what is the difference then?
It comes from New Mexico. Again, the last time I was here, I believe I mentioned that New Mexico is really controlling where their chili's coming from, just like how France controls where their wine comes from.
Right.
It's a terroir issue. So I'm just putting, if your pot burns a little, just put a little bit of moisture in there to prevent it from burning.
You know, I'm glad you said that because a lot of times when I'm adding a lot of the spices in, it does tend to get a little bit dry, and I'm thinking, okay, what do I do now?
Water, if it's water, just add a little bit of water and it'll just...
And it depends what you're cooking with. I mean, obviously you use chicken broth. Sometimes if you're using wine, obviously, that kind of makes it more moist too. So we've added back the pork. We
added the pork back into the onion mixture and just add a little bit of garlic in here.
Okay.
Now, just to state that chili and tomatoes have a lot of acid. Oh, go ahead and half lime juice.
Okay. And we're going to zest a little bit, right?
Yes. My little zester, I was at a dollar store and I saw them and I picked that up.
Hey, that's a money-saving tip right there.
It really is, you know?
Okay.
The best chefs in the country use whatever they can.
That's what I'm saying. You guys are all very resourceful.
Yes.
You know? And a little MacGyver going on in the kitchen as well.
a whole lot of MacGyver, yeah.
A whole lot.
Okay, we're adding the tomato sauce.
Okay.
Be careful, it might splash a little. Okay.
Okay. And then you want me to squeeze this lime in here too, right?
Just go and squeeze it in there.
Okay, here we go.
Now this is all acid, so you want this to cook fairly well, and it's gonna, again, that little tingly thing on the side of the cheeks here, that's what the acid does.
Okay.
You want to hand me, just half a lime.
Just a half a lime, okay.
And then both chilies.
Oh, and you've got a mixture.
I have a mixture of hot and mild. Yes.
Hot for you, mild for me?
Yes. So we have that going on in there. And then here. It adds a nice balance because it'll just balance everything out nice and easy. Okay. So we're going to let that come up to a nice simmer.
Right.
And then we're going to add our chicken stock and then our hominy, and it's ready to serve.
And the thing about hominy, I wanted to talk about this. You do not like to add the hominy until right before you're going to serve it?
Yes, I generally do about 15 minutes before I serve because it'll heat the hominy through.
Right.
This is cooked hominy now. If we were to do raw, dried hominy or frozen hominy, it would be a completely different process.
Okay. Because if you were to add this hominy now, then would it become too soggy, or what would happen?
It'll become soggy. It'll expand. Just what rice, and it just gets over. It starts to make your soup a little cloudy.
Right.
And it's not as attractive as we would want it to be.
Yeah.
So we're adding.
That is really thick. So now you're going to kind of.
We're going to thin it out a little.
Thin it out with the chicken broth.
Yes. And again, another big technique between the green chili and the red chili is the green chili has more chicken stock in it. Because this the chili isn't as thick.
Right.
So with the red sauce, with the red Posole, there's more chili sauce than there is chicken stock.
Okay.
And that's the difference. Yeah, that's what makes it naturally thick.
Right, right.
No ruse, no ruse.
Oh, okay. Now these two, you've got, is this cilantro?
Yes.
Okay. And you kind of just wait till the very, very end to just hit
I like
it with
to
the
garnish
cilantro?
it because some people like cilantro, some people don't. So at the end, we'll garnish it with that. And
I love it.
And garnish with a slice of lime.
Oh, yes.
And a nice Mexican beer.
Your favorite kind?
Tecate.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right. What was I thinking? Oh, my goodness. That looks wonderful. Yes. Okay, and then how did you come up with this dish?
This dish is, the reason why it's called Arizona, very important, is because it's a different technique. If this was made in New Mexico, it would just be 100% chili.
Oh.
And there's no, because I put tomato sauce in here, the chili differences between Arizona and New Mexico are completely different. And when I made New Mexican style Posole when I first moved here, people said, this isn't what I'm used to.
Right.
So I did a little research and I realized that since tomato has the same color, it's kind of like that illusion. But if we go to New Mexico, it'll be a completely different story.
Oh, very interesting. And I gotta tell you, it smells wonderful.
It's great. It's great.
I cannot wait to sink into that. Okay, all right. Well, Freddie is going to be making calabasas for our southwestern side dish. Wait till you see some of the ingredients he has. Very, very cool. We will be doing that in just a few minutes.